Joining me now is former federal prosecutor Francey Hakes. Francey, Riibe is obviously anxious to go home. The judge ruled in his favor today, but it's not quite so simple. It might take some time before he actually gets his passport back.
Well, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the judge has said that he's being unlawfully detained, but that maybe there's a question as to who exactly has his passport. So there's another hearing scheduled, I believe, for March 28th to determine where his passport is or to give him his passport back. It's all a little bit confusing for those of us that are used to American justice, Elizabeth.
I don't understand how they can keep this kid in this hotel against his will for all these weeks.
Well, I'm guessing the Dominican Republic does not have a constitution the way we do here in the United States, or at least a Bill of Rights that is like ours. However, Elizabeth, I have to say, even though they say he's not a suspect, I'm not sure why they've made that decision. An awful lot of the statements that he's made in the investigation of this case make no sense to me if he is completely innocent.
What doesn't make sense to you? What troubles you?
Well, it troubles me that he says that after a little while they were kissing in the water and then a big wave hit them. So far, I'm good with that. But then Sudiksha was in distress. And so he had to tow her to shore under his arm, which really doesn't make any sense. He says he's a trained lifeguard. That's not how you tow someone to shore, under your arm. I've also had lifeguard training, and that is not how you do it. And then he says of this young woman who was half his size, he has to tow her to shore because she's in such distress, but then he leaves her in knee-deep water, and then he says he vomits a whole bunch of seawater, and in the meantime, she disappears. So he manages to get himself out of the water, but he doesn't get the woman who's apparently in danger of drowning out of the water. That doesn't make any sense. But Elizabeth, the biggest red flag to me here is that you've got a 22-year-old wrestler, former wrestler, who gets back to his room after he says sunrise, which was hours before he says it was. He gets back to his room, and after this incredible heroics by him, where he saves a girl's life, according to his own story, he tells no one anything about it. Now, if you save a girl from drowning, if you're vomiting seawater, if you have this incredible experience on the beach in Punta Cana, what's the first thing you do?
Tell your friends.
You tell your roommate. You tell your friends. Exactly. And he not only didn't do that, he just went to sleep. He didn't check on her. He didn't call the authorities. He didn't see if she was okay. Remember, her cover-up was still down on the beach. Did he not notice that when he left? That makes no sense. So his story is internally inconsistent to me with someone who's completely innocent.
Just very quickly, what do you make of the fact that her parents have not only said we don't think Riibe did anything to hurt her, but we want her declared officially dead? They have given up hope of finding her alive.
Well, Elizabeth, it's incredibly sad, and I don't really blame them. They don't know if they should be grieving. They don't know if they should be hopeful. I think it's easier for them to think that things are over and they should just be grieving and that nothing terrible happened to her in the sense of some kind of assault, that it was just an accidental drowning. I think it might make them feel a little more comforted that way.
Yeah, such a sad, sad story. She had her whole life in front of her, pre-med student at the University of Pittsburgh. Very, very sad. Francey Hakes, always great to talk to you. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.